Chapter 16. My Wife, Everlasting Treasure of Life. Happy is the man who finds a true friend, and far happier is he who finds that true friend in his wife. By Franz Schubert. Most of the time, husbands, when asked to express their true feelings about their wife, amusingly turn diplomatic and try to give calculated replies. They neither criticize their life partner publicly nor appreciate her contribution openly. Perhaps they might have a dual fear that praise will puff up the wives with pride and criticism will make them hostile. However, I never got entangled in such dilemmas. My relation with my wife Vandana, right from the moment she stepped in my life, has always been nurtured on the basis of mutual trust. She has accompanied me through thick and thin. She has fulfilled her responsibilities excellently in various roles like able housewife, caring mother, ideal daughter-in-law, and of course, my best friend and trusted partner. She was Vandana Deshpande before our marriage, born and brought up in a middle-class family living in a village called Pali in Satara district of Maharashtra. Like me, she had also completed her primary education in a village school. She is by nature emotional, caring, helpful, but a little persistent too. At the young age when she became marriageable, her parents had asked her expectations about her life partner, and she expressed her wish to tie a knot with a sensible groom residing abroad. She waited for a suitable match and at last accomplished her goal. For us, the quote, "Marriages are made in heaven," came true. Our marriage was fixed in a traditional way after matching our horoscopes. On 15th June 1994, both Datar and Deshpande families sat together to discuss wedding arrangements. My father was against asking any conditions or demands from the bridal side. He requested Vandana's father to only arrange a simple marriage as quickly as possible to allow me to return to Dubai within a fortnight to manage the business. My in-laws consented to the proposal, and the earliest auspicious day in the following week was fixed for the wedding ceremony. Before that, a ring exchanging and formal engagement ceremony took place, and finally, we got married on 27th June 1994 in Yogeshwar Wedding Hall, Sangli. Since the marriage was arranged at such a spur of the moment, very few relatives and friends of both families could attend the function. We went to Mahabaleshwar, a nearby hill station, to enjoy our honeymoon. Vandana packed our baggage so neatly that I was pleasantly surprised with her tidiness. She couldn't accompany me to Dubai immediately because her visa was delayed. She had to live with my parents in Mumbai for a year. Despite being a newlywed couple, we had to live apart. But this separation also brought us intimately and emotionally closer to each other. In those days, the only available medium to express my deep love to her was telephone. But initially, I couldn't get a chance to speak to her alone. Whenever I called home, Baba would usually pick up the receiver and begin chatting with me about business. But I was clever and intuitive. She would take Baba to another room on purpose under some pretext and then let us talk frankly. Those romantic moments were very memorable and sweet. I loved Vandana with a maternal love and made her stay comfortable like her own house. After a year, Vandana got her visa and came to Dubai to live with me. She decorated our house beautifully and took charge of the kitchen. I was living a bachelor's simple life until then, but she made our house heavenly. In Dubai, she had to spend her initial years in loneliness as I was very busy with my business. Vandana was so involved in housekeeping that despite her social nature, she couldn't get a chance to make new acquaintances or mingle with neighbors. Her only relaxation was reading some books and hearing music. I would often return late every day from work, but she would always patiently wait for me for dinner and never complained. She quickly adjusted herself to the busy schedule of Dubai. She even took care of my likes and food habits. Despite being a staunch vegetarian, she learned to cook non-vegetarian dishes for me. Our first child, Rishikesh, was born on 25th March 1995. Vandana had gone to India for her first delivery. I was so immersed in business that I couldn't even go to see my son's face. Vandana became a little disappointed, but knowing my busy schedule, never complained. Her sister Vaishali took very good care of the baby. Vandana returned to Dubai with Rishikesh and we celebrated the arrival of our first child enthusiastically. After Rishikesh, our second son Rohit was born on 23rd April 1997. Thus, we became a complete family. Vandana thoroughly enjoyed the upbringing of both children, but I apologetically admit that I couldn't fulfill the duty of a responsible father towards my children for the first 10 years. I was busy expanding my business and Vandana had to raise the children on her own. I still regret that I have missed those precious and happy moments to nurture our kids. I knew that Vandana had excellent management skills, be it at home or in business, so I decided to bring her into my business as a partner. Baba was against this decision. He was not orthodox, but his opinion was slightly different. He was particularly concerned that if both of us got involved in business, what would happen to our family life and especially to the upbringing of our children. But I trusted Vandana and remained firm on my decision. However, Vandana herself sensibly advised me to listen to my Baba. She offered a solution to me. She agreed to help me in business as an inactive partner. She kept her word and looked after the family responsibilities and joined our office as Director of Finance only when our children were old enough. Until then, she remained a housewife and business advisor. After joining office responsibilities, she proved her mettle in business with the same skill. She brought financial discipline to our company and controlled the unnecessary expenditures. Her prudence was benefited our business that in the global recession period when most businesses were incurring huge losses, our Al Adil Group achieved a whopping 400% rise in profitability. Her skill in overcoming challenges and finding solutions with patience is admirable, and it has proven itself numerous times. Once we were on a holiday trip to Switzerland. We went to an Italian restaurant to have a taste of crispy pizzas and delicious pastas. But when the dishes came to the table and we tasted them, we didn't like the combination of sauces and spices. Even the children were disappointed. We thought of going to another restaurant, but it was so late that we would not have gotten anything there. We sat there in a dilemma, worrying about remaining hungry. Vandana thought for a moment and approached the chef. She asked for his permission to use the ingredients of her choice and cook dishes for herself. She prepared some amazing dishes and we all enjoyed their taste just like home-cooked food. I remember another incident displaying her presence of mind. In the same trip, my younger son Rohit, who was 3 years old then, was attempting to learn skiing. Suddenly he began to cry. He was not able to tell us what was hurting him. He just kept on indicating to us to take him into our arms. I anxiously suggested to Vandana that we should consult a doctor, but she refused and watched Rohit carefully. After noticing why he was crying and what he was indicating, she thought for a moment and removed his boots and socks. Surprisingly, Rohit stopped crying at once. Then Vandana showed me the ice accumulated in the socks and told me that Rohit was crying because his feet were frozen with cold. I have learned a lot from her. She pulled me out of the monotonous business routine and made me social. She motivated me to look beyond business and participate in social welfare projects. Because of her, our company started implementing CSR projects. Even with so many achievements to her credit, She has never expected any accolades and honors from anyone. She has always remained humble and preferred simplicity. I remember when we were once invited to a business banquet. There, one lady was displaying her dazzling diamond necklace to other women and boasting of her wealth. While returning home, Vandana told me that the lady's necklace was very precious and costly. Vandana teased me about it. She said that the necklace was actually gifted to her by her husband. I smilingly said, "My dear, either the lady has exaggerated the price of the necklace or her husband has definitely lied to her. I know her husband very well, and our entire business circle is aware that he has suffered a huge loss in business. Perhaps he might have concealed this fact from his wife. But your husband is honest. I promise to give you a precious gift one day, such that people will realize its price themselves." Vandana smiled and replied, "Oh, I don't need any diamonds. For me, my husband and kids are all precious jewels." She forgot the conversation soon, but I was determined to give her a memorable gift she would love. Soon I got the chance. I presented a Rolls-Royce brand new Phantom car to her. I handed over the keys to her and said, "You need not tell the price of the car to anybody. The company has manufactured only 18 cars of this model in the last 105 years, and your car is one of them. Besides, this is the first Rolls-Royce Phantom car in UAE. I have seen a number of rich people who are lonely and have a disturbed family life, but they themselves are responsible for their miserable situation. They only chase money and don't trust anyone, even their family members. Later, they have to repent for it. I knew one such person. He hadn't shared any information about his business, investments, and assets with his wife and children. He was so obsessed with his personal space that he never took them into his confidence. One day, he suffered a massive cardiac arrest and suddenly passed away. When I visited his family to offer condolences, I was surprised to see that the family members had nothing but bitter words for him. Even his photo was not garlanded. His wife coldly said in a few words that she was relieved and unburdened for the rest of her life. I am fortunate enough to have a content family life. I have always trusted Vandana closely and shared every business detail with her. I will never forget that when I was standing at the doorstep of death due to my ailment, she stood beside me and fought the challenge. It is said that behind every successful man there is a woman. For me, this has come true. My wife is my inspiration, and I am grateful to her for simply being in my life, making me a better person.